Hi everyone, I'm Tigris. Welcome back to my channel. This is part 7 of my starter / guarantee character challenge, and this time we're hitting on to Natlan. In this part we're going to be fighting all the open world boss in Natlan. Well, 6 out of 7 of the open world boss in Natlan. Part 2 will be the last open world boss with the 2 weeklies. As usual, I do not change the theme for all of these challenges because then I don't have to build all the characters. That would have taken forever. So I keep the team comp the same. For this team comp is including of Xiangling, Barbara, Kea and Noelle. As I mentioned before, next time in the future I might do a randomized team, but for now let's keep it the same. Alright, enough yapping for me, let's get this started. Alright, first up, Ungavato, the Mountain King. I'm happy to announce that this fight took like 10 times faster than the standard banner character challenge. Because for at least this fight, my main defense isn't resisted here. Noelle will have a much easier time against Kongamato compared to Tenari, that's for sure. While I had to wait for my burst for every single round, this wasn't that difficult, other than the fact that he's still so tanky. At least I'm doing high 4-digit numbers compared to what Tenari was doing. And whenever I burst, I'm doing like basically 8-9,000. So this was a very quick fight. Quick in comparison to what other Kongamato fight would look like. We are not gonna put Ali or the Archon teams here as a comparison because those two are too OP. And the fact that we can blow up his little fruit makes it a lot easier. Pyro is so important in a lot of this fight. As I recommend before, I say I'm a Pyro user. Pyro actually is really useful as it's reactive to a lot of elements except for its own. Not that I say that other elements are useless, but I always find Pyro more easy to work with. Of course, all of this depends on what element you prefer to use, what team comp you prefer to use. There's no judgment on my end, because using Pyro, there is weakness to it as well. Just like this boss. Using all Pyro, this boss will have an enormous pain. Is it beatable? Yes, with all Pyro this boss is still beatable, but as you can see the damage falls like 80% because this boss has resisted 80% to Pyro. Plus Pyro is a very reactable element, so if we do not have any other element on the team, it might be difficult to react anyway. If you want to say useful element, I'll say Hydro. But Hydro is weak to like Electro, weak to Cryo, and of course itself. Pyro only have one weakness, but unfortunately for everyone, there is a lot of bosses that are Pyro resisted in the game. But then I can argue that it's the same for Hydro. Once again, I'm thankful that Barbara is on the team, otherwise some of the Pyro bosses might have taken forever. Most bosses that are Pyro resistant are heavily weak to Hydro, and it does make the fight a lot easier. This fight would have taken like 20 minutes without Barbara here. That day I was debating with my friend on which is the weakest element out of the 7, but after thinking for a really long time, I couldn't figure out. Every one of the elements are really useful and they have their own mechanic where they are useful. If you lose one of them, you are facing a lot of problems. Too bad we only can use 4 elements on the team, so that's why everyone is going for Hydra and Pyro most of the time. Unless you're playing a Hyper Bloom team. But that's an entire different team to begin with. The new lunar mechanic might change everything too. Next up is the part where I start yapping about everything else because we are going to fight the tankiest boss in Natlan. So far. Honestly, this boss is only tanky because I can do absolutely nothing when he put out the pillars. I could have cheated and bring a Saurian along with me, but that wouldn't be original. I already did all the other challenges without the Saurian. I'm not going to bring a Saurian here. For new players, yes, you can just avoid the one shot by staying outside the arena. But you make sure you calculate it accurately so you don't reset the boss. Anyway, back to my yapping. For those waiting for my Imaginarium turtle this month, I'm sorry, I didn't record it. I didn't make it through anyway. I think I got it to Act 9 and then I ran out of damage. Useless. So the final result was like 8 star on Act 9. So it's probably a good thing that I forgot to record it. Oh shit, I was far out enough. Don't worry, I think that's the only time I mess up. Sorry Kaya. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I didn't record it. I already finished the fight and then I realized I forgot to record it. Oh well. After that, I couldn't be bothered to do it again, so you guys will just have to wait until next month to watch the next Imaginary Turtle video. That being said, if I do get enough DPS before the end of the month, I might do it again, and maybe post the video after all. So that will be a very late Imaginary Turtle video. Right now, I simply don't have enough DPS for Cryo, Electro, and what's the last one? Anemo? Yeah, Anemo. Most of my units are 4 star, and I only have a few characters that are 5 star in those 3 elements. I only have 3 5 star of each element. Electro was Raiden, Veresa, and Kaching. Cryo was Skirt, Sunher, and Ayaka. And then for Anemo was Jin, Venti, and Kazuha. Even when I borrowed my friend Escoffier, that only gave me 10 5 star characters, and they are not even on level 90. So can you imagine how difficult it is to clear 10 acts of Imaginary Turtle with that type of damage. Almost all my characters were level 80 except for those few characters that are level 90 in 5 stars. I actually relied heavily on Mizuki and Yae, because those two actually provide very decent damage because of the slopes. Yae especially was an ideal partner with Raiden. Too bad I had to use Raiden as a DPS, even though the entire build is based on the sub DPS build. By the way, if you want to build a good Raiden for a DPS, you need C2. You can try using C0, but compared to a lot of other DPS, that damage do fall off a bit. Okay, other than my sad Imaginarium Turtle this run, I need to apologize for a lot of the live streams. Or the live stream that I started. This is the first time I'm doing a live stream and I couldn't figure out all the system and everything. I'm still trying. If you guys know which app that can allow me to screen record without showing my face, because I do not want to show my face in the live stream, yet still give clear record for the video, please tell me. Especially the audio. Audio has always been my weakness to all these videos. Not that I'm still using my phone to record all of this, so can you give me a good app that can actually work without needing to use a computer? Because my computer cannot play Genshin. I'm planning to get a new computer for Genshin, but that's not gonna happen anytime soon. YouTube is still not paying me, so that is a huge commitment and it might take at least another year or so. So now everything is still done on my phone, including the live stream. So guys, bear with me. But like I said, if you can recommend me a good app, I can probably help improve the video quality. My room isn't completely soundproof, so you're gonna hear a lot of background sound if I just record it with my phone. And for now, I'm editing all this video straight in the middle of the night, just to avoid a lot of background sound. Unfortunately, echo is a different thing, so that's not avoidable for the meantime. At least this new microphone that I got is very clear compared to the old one. Too bad I cannot use it on the other phone that I used to live stream because the head is not comparable. I'm still trying to find an app that allowed me to live screen record without needing a microphone for additional audio. I'm fine saying silent for all my live stream, but I want the viewers to at least be able to hear the game. Otherwise that would be a very boring live. Can you imagine just a silent one? I'm still trying to figure that out, but until I figure that out, I guess everyone will just have to hear all the background sound while I live stream. And we're finally done with this boss. I hate this one. It's so tanky. We're doing triple digit the entire fight, in case you don't notice. Next up is another boss that we can avoid the mechanic just by staying outside the arena. And just like the previous boss, we had to watch out for accidentally resetting it. The best way I can advise to avoid resetting it is the moment you one shot, run back in. That way you can avoid resetting it. For this boss, however, it's very dangerous because you couldn't predict how far the one shot is gonna be. I got myself killed a couple of times when I mess up, but other than that, this fight is actually pretty simple. Run outside the arena when he tried to shield up and then go back in within the next 2 seconds. We do need to watch out for, I do not know whether to call it a bleed or the abyss, but there is something that he causes you continuous damage, so we do have to watch out for that. Other than that, if you have a healer, this fight isn't that hard. By the way, I did try to break the thing with the other characters before. I'm not gonna bother. Even if you're using a catalyst user, is gonna be struggling. In co-op, it's different. In co-op, if you have 4 catalyst users, it's doable because you're doing 4 times the damage. In single, it's impossible. There is no way you do enough elemental damage without using the nice soul mechanic against this boss. A lot of players complain about Genshin putting all this mechanic in, making it sound like power creep, but at least they give us Kachina. Unfortunately for me, I didn't get Kachina in this challenge, so we're stuck running away. As you can see, the moment the one shot happened, I ran back in. This is to avoid it resetting. I am so scared I reset the boss by accident. I would have need to spend another like 5 minutes against this boss. Anyway, while against this boss, Kachina will be very useful. Against the weekly boss mechanic, not so much. And that's because the weekly boss needs to break 3 of it. Our little girl simply don't have enough. We would have needed another Natlan character to make it right. Next up is a boss that is still the bane of my existence in the Abyss. I hate this boss when you see it in the Abyss. Even if I'm using a pyro character. It takes forever to break the shield because there are so many of them, and when you're on a time limit, it's seriously annoying. Normally to fight this boss in the Abyss, I had to bring at least Xiangling and Ali, and sometimes even Bennett. You can replace Xiangling with Malvika if you want, but I need to split my damage between 2 teams. Having Skirt on my team right now actually gives me more of a leeway, especially with my 2 main pyro DPS. Malvika is actually a very great sub DPS for Ali. Then again, all the Archons are actually great sub DPS or support. Waiting for Columbina, so we're just wondering, is Columbina going to be a main DPS? According to the kit, not so much. So far, all the Archons are great off-fielders and all the Harbingers are actually great on-fielders. So, with Columbina kit, I'm surprised that she is more off-fielder, actually. Of course, her kit is subject to change. All of this is just prediction for now. But with the fact that she might be the Archon of Not Cry, or at least a representative Archon of Not Cry, I can see why they are building her as an off-fielder. I might pull for her, I might not. Probably on my second character, especially if she is an off-fielder. My actual target right now is Alice, Vakar, and Lauma. Those are my target for the Not Cry characters at least. I still want Escoffier, I still want Nuvalet, And of course I still want early C6. Those are the characters that I'm currently planning to pull on. Everyone else is a maybe. A few of them might be pulled on my second account, so you guys are still gonna get a pulling video. It just won't be on my main account. No guarantees though, that account is free to play. By the way, this is the last boss for this video. The Overseer device will be together with the weekly boss in the next part. I'm pretty sure most players have reset this boss at least once since its release, because this boss is so fickle. It tends to knock you to the side, and when you go out to the arena, it resets. So if you cannot one shot it with Barbika or something, I suggest you try to lure it back into the arena that I'm doing right now. This boss is so weak to Pyro, Jungling is perfect for it. But I'd rather not reset it even though the fight only took like 4 minutes. Unfortunately, Jungling Pyro attack is only available when she bursts or those few seconds that go by is up. So our main DPS is still nowhere and her damage has fallen to an average of 800 to 900. That is the only reason this fight took so long. Otherwise this fight would have ended long time ago. This boss is extremely tanky, but that's all it is. Which is why when it appears in the abyss, it's annoying. Against this boss, time limit is a problem. That and the fact that every time you lock it down, your damage gets lesser and lesser. See, even with a tiny shiver of health, this fight is still taking forever. Of course, that's probably because Noel's damage has fallen to triple digits. Finally. Well, that marks the end of part 1 of Natlan at least. Part 2 will be out on Wednesday as per usual schedule. We'll finish the Overseer device and the 2 weekly boss then. As always, if you like the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Anything you give me, I truly appreciate it, even if it's just a view. I haven't quite think of which team I should do next, so feel free to give me any comments at the bottom to suggest a new team comp. I've already done my team, a team of Archon, a team of standard band 5 stars, and a team right now of starters slash guarantee characters. At this rate, I wouldn't know what to build, but I'll think of something, even if there will be a delay for the next team comp. Anyway, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.